Hello student, welcome to my class. Today I am going to take class 11 geography. The book name is Fundamental of Physical Geography. It is chapter 7 and the name of the chapter is Landform and their evolution. So let's proceed with this chapter. In this chapter you are going to basically read about the various geomorphic and the erosional agent making different erosional and depositional landform. So we are going to analyze each and every geomorphic agent and see how they are making different landform. So after the erosion is being done, when the particles is being removed from the various landform, the next job this agent do is the deposition of those material and making a different sizes of landform. So all the landform this erosional agents are doing, then this landform in all the related landform in a large area is called the landscape of that place. And this landform which is being formed by this erosional agent is not formed in a few days or a few minutes or few months or year. Sometimes it take millions of years for its formation, and whatever landform which is present today, it can also change in the future. Because this erosional agent are so powerful that they can change the mountain into hill and hill into plateau and plateau into a plain with the slowly erosional work. And all this climatic agent like your wind, water, glacier, etc. and the vertical and horizontal movement which is taking place inside the earth. Vertical movement is the movement of lava from inside to the top surface, and horizontal movement is the movements of the plate, the convergent, divergent and the transform movement. All these things, the climatic agent, the vertical movements and the horizontal movements are making different types of landform. And all this landform, they have their youth stage, their mature stage and their old stage. So now let us analyze this erosional agent one by one. First we are going to study about the running water. Running water means stream or the river which has the two components. One is overland flow and another one is linear flow. What is overland flow? Suppose the water is falling on the surface of the earth. First the soil will absorb some water and send it inside. But after some time the soil will become saturated and it cannot intake or absorb any more water. Then the water will start overflowing on the land surface, and that is called your overland flow. What is linear flow? Linear flow is when the water is falling from the top towards the downward, from the mountains towards the plain. And when they fall from the top towards the downward, they follow a linear straight pattern. And when they fall from the mountains to the top, they do lots of erosional activity and they collect all the erosional material. Then they deposit those material on the plain area. Then the plain area gets risen up, and this risen up land will actually decrease the speed of the river itself. And then river will take a lateral turn and fall into a deep depression. So always the river when it is flowing, it fall into a deep depression. Whenever the water fall at your houses also, it goes to the downward slope. It does not go top side, right? Because it is the nature of the water, it will flow on the downward side. So always wherever the river is starting, it will ultimately fall to the deepest depression of the earth, and that is your ocean. The ocean is the deepest depression on earth, right? So they will ultimately meet the sea or the ocean. And when the rivers are flowing from the top towards the downward, they do lot of cutting and they do lot of erosional work. They have the capacity to turning the mountain into hill and hill into plateau and then plateau into a plain. Alright, so this much capacity the erosional work have of the river. And this overland flow, whenever the water is flowing on the top surface, they not only flow, water flow, along with it, top layer of the soil also flow. Alright, the top layer of the soil is also removed by the water. And the running water which is falling from the top towards the down, from the mountain and hill, when they fall downward, they make some signs or mark on the mountains and hills, and that is called your rallies. And this rallies become further wider and deeper, and then they turn into gullies. And this gullies will again further wider and deeper with the course of time, and they will turn into a valley. So because of this flowing of water from the top towards the downward side, the railings are created, and railings are turned into gullies, and gullies are actually turned into valley. And this running water actually have so many phases, the youth stage and the mature stage and the old stage, which I will discuss afterwards. First, let me show you the picture of railings and gullies. So first the railings are made, the mark are being made on the hills and the mountains, and then this mark became wider and turned into gullies, and further the gullies become wider and turn into a valley. And now let us discuss the phases of the running water, that is youth stage, mature stage and the old stage. In the youth stage, what is happening? The water is falling from the top and it is falling in a linear way. In the mature stage, they are bringing the erosional material, depositing on the land, and the land size increases, and the water which is coming, its speed will decrease, and it will it will slow down its speed, and it will take a meandering, it will start doing meandering on the surface. What is meandering? It is the zigzag flow of the river is called meandering. Then the old phase come. In the old phase, they do further more erosion, and they do so much of erosion that valley can be turned into a paddy plains. Paddy plains are the plains which are made by the erosion of the hills. So when the hills are eroded and turns into plain, that is called your paddy plains. And sometime in this erosional work, what happens? Some rocks remain uneroded, because some rocks maybe are made up of very hard material and did not got eroded, and sometimes you can see a separate rock standing on that area without erosion, and those rocks are called actually the isolated rock which are remain uneroded is actually called your monad rock. And this entire cycle of passing of river from youth stage to the mature stage to the old stage will continue again and again till it finds its deepest depression. Suppose it does not find any sea and ocean after this, and it has to flow further in a low-lying area or in depression area, then again these phases will start of the river. Again they will pass through their youth stage and their mature stage and the old stage. So the whole cycle will repeat one more time. Now let us see what are the erosional landform which are made by the running water or the river. And first one is your valley. As I told you, when the water is flowing, it will make a railings, and railings will wider and deeper and become gullies, and gullies will become wider and deeper and turn into valleys. And this valley are of many types. You have the V-shaped valley, you have the gorge, and you have the canyon. All are the types of valleys. So valleys is actually what? The valleys is when the two mountains are there, and from this mountain the river is flowing and making some plain on both the side. That is called your valley. Alright. So this is your valley. The V-shaped valley is the valley in which the mountain are in the V shape, and that's why it is called V-shaped valley. And gorge and canyons are also type of valley whose sides are steep. But what is the difference between gorge and canyon? In the gorge, the two mountains on both the side will have equal distance at the top and also at the bottom. But in the canyon, the distance between the mountain is not same at the top and the bottom. In the bottom, the distance will be less, and at the top, the distance between the two mountains will be more. I will show you with the figure and you will understand it. You can see here the railings and the gullies. When the mark is made, it is called railings. Railings get deeper and become gullies, and gullies become further deeper and wider, and it turns into valley. So this is the example of V-shaped valley where the mountains are in the V shape. Now let us see what is canyon. Canyon is the mountain in which the distance between the two mountains is less at the bottom and more at the top, and that is called your canyon. But when the distance is same at the bottom and at the top, then almost same, then it is called gorge. Alright. So this is your gorge and canyon. And whenever you explain any landform, whether erosional landform or the depositional landform, please draw the rough picture, and that will add value to your answer. So now let us see the another erosional landform made by your running water is your potholes and plunge pool. So what is potholes? Potholes are like you must have seen the hole at the road also. Same way the hole is visible sometime in the river also. What happens? Some sediments of the river which is brought by the river, the erosional material brought by the river is deposited in between the river. in between the flowing river, and then the current will take a round turn, that is called eddy current, and depression will be created in between that, and then those depression will be filled by pebbles, and that will make your potholes. And plunge pool is the way in which the river is when it is falling from the top toward the downward, from the hill to the plain area. So it fall with so much of force that it created depression on the base, and that depression is called your plunge pool. I will show you with the figure and you will understand better. What is this? This is some erosional material brought by the river and deposited at the center, and then this eddy current is just taking a round on this sediments, and they are creating a depression in between that, and this depression is sometimes filled with the pebbles, and that is what is your potholes. And then you have the plunge pool. The river is falling from the top toward the bottom with the force and creating a depression area here, and that is your plunge pool. Alright. Now let us discuss the another erosional landform made by the river, that is your incised or entrenched meandering. Incised and entrenched meandering. Meandering, as I told you, this is the meandering of the river. Sometimes this meandering is so powerful, they do lot of cutting up the landform. It is mostly because of the gradient or the slope of that place. Alright, so they do lot of cutting. That's why it is called incised meandering. Why incised? Incised is actually incisor teeth, you must have heard. The incisor teeth in your mouth which do the cutting of the food. Same way this meandering is working like a incisor teeth and doing so much of meandering. You can see it in the picture. Here the river is meandering and so doing so much of cutting in this landform, and that is called your incised meandering. Alright, now let us see the another erosional landform made by your river, and that is your river terrace. River terrace. Terrace means steps. So they make a step cutting of a plain, especially of the valley or the flood plains. So this flood plain is actually made by the river itself. The river which bring the erosional material, in the flood, they deposit in some place and make a flood place. And valley is also made by the depositional work of on the river side, on a plain area of the river side. So all these plains are actually made by the river itself. After making the depositional landform of valley and the floodplain, they do the erosional work on their depositional work itself. On the depositional landform of the river, next time the river will do the erosional work on those landforms. On its own depositional landform, the river will do the erosional land work. Like for this, you can see the example that terraces are actually of two types, paired terraces and unpaired terraces. So what is the difference between the paired and unpaired terraces? In the paired terraces, the side of the terraces are same. Alright, both the sides are a same size and same structure. But in the unpaired terraces, the steps are not similar. This type steps and this side steps are opposite side steps are not similar, and then it is called unpaired terraces. So you have the terraces of two types. In the floodplain or in the valley area, the steps are being cut by the river, and sometimes it is a paired terraces and sometimes it is an unpaired terraces. Now, after analyzing the erosional work made by the river, let us analyze the depositional landform made by the river, because river is bringing so much of erosional material and it deposits it somewhere or the other. Then they make the depositional landform. The first one is alluvial plain. Alluvial fan. Actually, alluvial fan is the fan which is made when the river is falling from the top towards the downward and spreading its alluvial soil and other material in a conical form. And you must have heard about the hand fan which is in the cone shape. So that's why it is in the shape of a fan and falling from the top towards the downward, and they depositing the alluvial soil and other things. That's why it is called alluvial fan. It is like this. The river is falling from the top and depositing its alluvial material and other material in this way like a conical shape. It looks like a fan of an alluvial deposit. That's why it is called alluvial fan. The another depositional landform made by river is your delta. Delta is how it is made when ultimately the river meet the sea. So when the river is going to meet the sea, it get divided into different channels, and it open its mouth, and its mouth get open and divided into different channel and flow finally in the sea. But all the remaining erosional material which river still have, they deposit it in a triangular shape or the conical shape, and that triangular landform is called delta. You can see the river is coming here and it is about to meet the sea. It is land and that is sea. And when the river is about to meet the sea, it open its mouth and divided into different channel, and it is depositing the remaining erosional material in a triangular shape, and this is what you call as delta. Alright, so this way the delta is being made by the depositional work of the river. Now another depositional landforms of the river are floodplain, natural levee and the point bar. So what are these three? We will analyze one by one. Floodplain. Floodplain are actually the plain which is made by the river when the depositional material are brought during the floods. So in the floods they bring lot of soils and other material and deposit in a plain area, and that area is called your floodplains. And it is made up of river deposit which is very soft and smooth and made up of sand and silt. And this floodplain is actually of two types, of active floodplain and the inactive floodplain. Suppose this is the river, and in the bank of the river the floodplain is there, because all this material which is river is bringing, depositing on its side, on its bank, all right, on the both the side of its bank. That is called your active floodplain. Not only during the flood they are depositing this material, sometimes normally also the river is flowing, always they are depositing some material here and here. They are depositing this materials here and here. And beside this active floodplain you have the inactive floodplain on this both side of the active floodplain. In this side also sometimes the material is being deposited when more material is being brought, especially during the time of flood or some other times. So these are actually the inactive floodplain, because here the sometime only you deposit the material. So river have its floodplain and also it have the active and inactive floodplain. Active floodplain where always the deposit is being made, and inactive floodplain where sometime the deposit is of materials is being made. And this, the floodplain is not only made by the material brought during the flood, but also when normally the river is flowing or the channel is flowing, it is bringing some material and depositing in this area. So alright, so this is about your floodplain. Now we will discuss the natural levee. You can see the picture of floodplain. This is the river you have, and beside the river you have the floodplain this side, and also you will have the floodplain that side. Alright, so this is your floodplain. Now we are going to discuss the natural levee. This is your natural levee picture. You can see it here. On the bank of the river, on the both the side of the bank of river, you have the levee, the natural levee. So what is your natural levee? It is on the side of the river, on the bank of the river, and it is like a linear, long and narrow, not very thick one or the broad one. It is a narrow and uplifted landform. Uplifted land means little, the deposition is made again and again, it get little uplifted on the corners of the banks of the river, and that is called your natural levee. And then you have the point bar also. What is point bar? Point bar is also called meander bar. You know what is meandering? This is the zigzag flow of the river is called meandering. So when the river is flowing in a zigzag way, in a meandering way, sometimes what they do, they deposit on the turn, wherever the river is taking turn. Here the river is taking turning, here the river is taking turning, here river is taking turn, here the river is taking turn. So at the time of turning in the meandering, what they are doing, they are depositing some material in this point, and that is called your point bar. This is called your point bar. So this is your point bar. And I can show you with the figure also. See, the river is meandering and depositing some material at the turn. Alright. In the meandering, the river is sometimes depositing some material. Here you can see that the material is being deposited. Here the material is being deposited at the turn. And that is called your point bar or the meander bar. So these are the depositional landform of the river. One more depositional landform of the river we will discuss is meandering. As I told you, what is meandering? Meandering is the zigzag flow of the river. Meander is actually not a landform. It is just a pattern in which the river is flowing. But sometime what happen in meandering, what happen, river changes its course and it will turn this side. And what is happening? This area is being cut off. This area is being cut up by the river, and this will turn into a lake. Alright, this will turn into a lake, and this is called your oxbow lake because it resembles the shape of a bow of an ox animal. Alright, and that's why it is called oxbow lake. And now let us examine the another second exogenic agent or the geomorphic agent which is doing the erosional and depositional landform, and that is your groundwater. You know, on the surface of the land you have the soil, and below the soil you have the rock, and when the water is falling on the surface, it is going inside the rock, and they are reacting with the rocks, and they are creating some landform, especially with the dolomite and the limestone rock, which is made up of calcium carbonate. This calcium carbonate get dissolved in the water. They make some solution with the water, and after some time what happens, this water get evaporated from the solution. The water get evaporated, and the material which remain get deposited some or the other place, and they make some landform, and that type of landform is called actually karst topography. So this groundwater is also making so much of erosional and depositional landform. Let us first examine the erosional landform made by the groundwater. So first one is your pool and plunge pool. I already discussed plunge pool in the river section also. What is plunge pool? When the river is or some water is falling from the top towards the downward side. So when from the surface of the soil, the water is getting inside the rock bed, no? So they are falling with the force towards the downward side. So when they fall with the force, they make some depression at the low area, and that is called your plunge pool. You can see it here from the bed surface of the soil. It is falling downward, and it is falling with the force and making a depression here, and that is called your plunge pool. Alright. Now let us discuss the another erosional landform made by your river is your sinkhole. What is sinkhole? It from the top of the road, it look like a hole on the road. Alright, and this hole look very shallow. It look like it's not very deep, and it is filled with sand and pebbles, and by chance if anybody step into this it is from inside, it is actually very deep. It is in a conical shape. By chance if anybody step into this hole, they will fall deep inside. Alright, so this is actually your sinkhole, and sinkhole is actually deep like a conical shape. And sometimes this sinkhole, they are on the roof of a cave. This sinkhole is also called solution sink, and this is sometime on the surface of a cave. Sometimes caves are also there underground. So on the cave, this sinkhole is standing, and sometimes this portion, this get eroded. The roof of the cave get eroded, and then the sinkhole will further extend this way. Alright, so you can see when the roof get eroded, then the sinkhole will further get extended, and further it will become deeper. So this is your sinkhole, which look like this from the surface of the earth, but it is looking like a round, but inside it is a conical in shape. The another erosional landform made by the groundwater is lapis and limestone pavement. So what is lapis and limestone pavement? Suppose this rock is there. Alright, then the erosion work is done, and this portion is get eroded, and this portion get eroded, and the rocks will turn like this, and the portion there will be created cavity in between the rock. The cavity will get created in between the rock, and that is called your lapis. And further, if lapis got eroded, then it will turn into limestone pavement. So you can see it in the figure. What is happening? The big rock was there, it got eroded, and cavity was created between this rock, and that is called your lapis, when the cavity is there in between the rock. And when further the lapis got eroded from the top, it will turn like this smooth surface, and that is called your limestone pavement. So this is your erosional landform. Another erosional landform of underground water is your cave. Cave is like, what is cave? Cave is actually this shape. So sometime what happens, the cave is present. The cave is actually, I'll tell you, when on the surface the water is falling and going inside the rock, and they are eroding this portion of the rock, and then it will turn into a cave. When the hole is made in between the rock, then it will turn into a cave. Alright, and sometimes this portion also get eroded. When this portion also get eroded, then it will turn like a tunnel. It is open from both the sides, then it will turn like a tunnel. So this way the cave and tunnel is also present inside your rock surface. And this will look like this. The cave is there. If this side is closed, then it is a cave. But if this side get open, then it will turn into a tunnel. So one side is closed, then it is cave, and both the side get open, then it will turn into a tunnel. So this were the erosional landform made by the groundwater. Now let us see the depositional landform made by the groundwater. So many depositional feature also made by the groundwater, especially because of the chemicals present in the groundwater, that is your calcium carbonate. When they get dissolved with the carbonated water, when the rain fall, they take the carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, and this carbonated water enter inside the rock surface and react with the calcium carbonate of your limestone and dolomite, and they form some solution. And when the water get evaporated from those solution because of the summer days, then those solution material, they get deposited somewhere or the other, and they make some landform, and that is your depositional landform of the underground water. And they make stalactites, and then they make stalagmites, and then they make pillars. These three land structure, the depositional land structure made by the underground water. So what is stalactite? Stalactite is actually the hanging icicle, in which the icicles are hanging from the roof, and stalagmites are the rising from the floor. And when they both get fused, they both get joined, they will form the pillar. So these are the stalactites, stalagmites, and the pillar. I will show you with the figure, and you will understand better way. This is your stalactites. They are hanging from the top. Okay, and these are your stalagmites. They are rising from the bottom. And when they get joined, they will find a pillar. So stalactites, stalagmites, and the pillars are the three landforms made by the depositional work of underground water. Now we will analyze, after the running water and the groundwater, we are going to analyze the glacier, how they do the erosional work. The glacier is actually the massive sheet of ice which is also flowing because of the gradient and the gravity, and they flow very slowly, and they flow only few centimeter or few meter in a day. And because they are very heavy, they do lot of erosion work, and they take lot of erosional material along with it. And it is actually of two types. It is one is your continental glacier or Piedmont glacier. Another one is your valley glacier or the mountain glacier. So what is the difference between two? The continental glacier is actually found in the continent, and the mountain glacier or the valley glacier is actually found in the hilly area. So both of them are heavy and do lot of erosional work and lead to the formation of various landforms. So here you can see the example of continental glacier. And here the glacier are in the mountainous region, so it is a hilly glacier. So now let us see the erosional landform which is made by your glacier. One is cirque. Cirque is what happen in the glacier hill, when the part of a glacier moves and make a structure like this, like a cup. Then it is called cirque. And when the cirque get filled with water, they are called turn. So you can see it in the figure. See, in the big glacier slope, so some parts of the glacier is being removed, and they are making some round like a cup like structure, and that is called your cirque. And when this cirque is being filled with water, then they are making a turn. Alright, and what is happening, in between, suppose in a slope there are so many cirque can be made like this. Here one cirque is made, here this way one cirque is made, on the back side also there can be so many cirque. Then the hill will get pointed. This part, the peak of the slope will get pointed, and this point is actually called your horn. And what is actually serrated ridges also being made by the glacier. What is serrated ridges? Serrated ridges are actually the ridge, zigzag ridge between the two cirques. Suppose in a glacier, this cirque is made here, this cirque is made here, this cirque is being made here. So in between the cirque you will have some ridges, this zigzag ridges. Alright, the depositional material get deposited like this. This is what you call as serrated ridges. In between the cirque you will have the serrated ridges. This actually separate the two cirque. They are the line between the two cirque, and that is called your serrated ridges. So this is some depositional landform made by the glacier. Now we will see, erosional landform made by the glacier. Now we will see the another last erosional landform made by the glacier, and that is your glacial valley or the trough. It is actually the U-shaped valley, and this valley is actually having the very stiff side and very high in structure, and they also have the hanging valley on their wall also. And the same glacial valley or the trough, when it is found near the sea in the high latitude area, no, they are actually called floats. They are floats. Alright, you can see the U-shaped valley. When the glacier is flowing and forming a valley in a U-shape, it is called U-shaped valley or the glacial valley or the trough. And on the side, on the wall of this glacial valley, you can see some hanging valleys are coming. Okay, hanging, it is the future valley. It can turn into valley afterwards. So you have the hanging valley on the wall of the U-shaped valley also. Alright, so this is your U-shaped valley or the glacial flow belt. Now depositional landform made by the glacier. So you know this glacier is not only eroding the things but and making the erosional landform. After erosion they collect so much of erosional material and that is called your glacial tail. And then they deposit this glacial material, the glacial tail, and that is called your glacial flow belt or the outwash deposit. Alright, and the rock which is found in this glacier area is actually round, smooth round shape, because the continuously moving water fall on them and it turn the rock and that places in the smooth rounded shape. Now let us see the depositional landform made by the glacier. The first one is moraine. Moraine is actually the ridge, long ridge is called moraine. So the glacier do make some moraine while moving, and this moraine are of various type: lateral moraine, medial moraine, and the terminal moraine, and sometimes ground moraine also. So what is lateral moraine? When the moraine is made on the side of the glacier is called lateral moraine. When it is made in the front it is called terminal moraine, and when it is made in the middle it is called medial moraine. And if it is made somewhere else in the ground it is called ground moraine. You can see it in the example. On the side they are making the lateral moraine, in the front they are making the terminal moraine, and in the middle they are making your medial moraine. And if they are making somewhere else in the ground, they are called ground moraine. So moraine is one of the very important landform made by your glacier. Now let us see the another landform made by the glacier is your esker. Esker is also depositing the glacier erosional material on the side of the glacier river. Sometimes what happens when the temperature increases in the summer season, the glacier turn into stream, and on its bank, on the bank of this stream, they deposit some erosional material, and that is called your esker. And when what is outwash plain, that when what happens, the glacier deposit all its material on a plain area, then it is called outwash plain. So you can see it in the example, the esker is there. You can see the glacier is turning into water, and they are depositing some material on its bank, and that is called your esker. So this deposited material on the side of the stream is called esker, and this is outwash plain. In the plain area the glacier is depositing all its material, and that is called your outwash plain. Now let us see the another depositional landform made by your glacier. It is drumlin. Drumlin is actually oval shaped deposit of the glacier, and it has a tail and it also have a stoss. And you know, this show the direction of the glacier. The tail will show in which direction the glacier was actually moving. And you can see it in the figure also. This is the oval shaped glacial erosional material deposition. In an oval shape, you have the tail, you have the toss, and they are showing you the direction in which the glacier was moving. And this is called your drumlin, one of the depositional feature of your glacier. Now after analyzing the running water, the groundwater and the glacier, now we will analyze the wave and current. So in the coastal area, this wave and ocean current are playing an important role in forming the different landform. Not only this waves and current, also the configuration of land and sea, because all are there in the same place, and also because the emerging and submerging coast, the rocky coast and the sedimentary coast, this erosional and depositional landform is formed in this coast. See, in India you have the coast in both the side. You have the coast here also and here also. In both the side you have the coast. So this is actually submerging coast or high rocky coast, and this is your emerging coast and sedimentary coast. So in both the side of the coast, the erosional and depositional landform are being made. So before understanding what are the erosional and depositional landform made on this coast, we will first understand what are these two different types of coast. So high rocky coast is actually the submerged coast. This is in this side of India. Alright, so this is made up of high rocky material and it is submerged. Here what is happening? The sea level is higher and the land level is little lower. So it is submerged coast and lot of erosional work is done on its cliff, and the fragments of the cliff is being removed and they are getting deposited in some place or the other and making many erosional and depositional landform. So first, high rocky coast. In the high rocky coast, what is happening? They are making the barrier bars, the bar and the barrier bars. Then they are making sand spits and they are making some lagoons also in this area. So what are these different types of landform? I will discuss in few minutes. All this I will explain you what is bar, what is barrier bar, what is sand spits, what is lagoon. Everything I will explain you. But these are some of the land features which in this coast you can find. Alright, and then this wave and current is also making some landform in the sedimentary coast side also. On this side of India also they are making some landforms. But like it have a perfect beach and smooth coastline. You can also find lagoon here also, and the tidal creek is very common in this place. Tidal creek is when the high tides or the heavy tides comes on the way, comes on the land area of the coast, that is called your creek. So creek can also be seen in the low sedimentary coast. It has a gentle coast. It is not like steep like this. It is having very gentle slope. Alright. And you also have the swamps and marshes in this place. Swamp and marshes when in the salty lake, when the plants and tree grow, that is called your swamps and marshes. So here also the bar, the barrier bar, the lagoon, the sand spits, all these are made. So these are the two coasts of India on which this erosional and depositional landform is made. Let us analyze this erosional and depositional landform of your wave and current one by one. So what are the erosional landform made by your ocean and current and the waves? First one is cliff, then terrace, then cave, and then stack. So what is cliff? Cliff is actually the rocky coast which is there on the side of the sea floor. And terrace, when this cliff are cut it into step in a smooth uniform landform, smooth platform. Alright, then it is called terraces. And cave is when they are hitting the cliff again and again and they making some hole in the cliff, and the cliff hole become wider, then it will turn into cave. Then what is stack? Stack is when the roof and the back wall of the cave get removed and it will turn into a big pillar, and that is called your stack. I will show you with the figure. See, this is your full area is your cliff, and when it is cut it into the terrace on the step by step in a smooth platform, then it is called your terraces. Then what is your cave? Cave when the continuously the waves and the currents are hitting the cliff, then they create a hole and this hole become wider and wider and turn into cave. Then after some time what happens? The back wall of the cave get eroded. Then the top side of the cave get eroded, and this structure will remain standing separately like this. And this is what is called cave, stack. Alright. And when further the stack get eroded, this portion get eroded, then it will turn into stump. Alright. So this is your various erosional landform made at the coastal area. Now let us see the depositional landform made by the wave and current, and that is beaches and dunes. Beaches are actually the sandy land. These sands are being brought by the river and also by the ocean and deposited at the sides of the ocean's coast, and that is called your beaches. And then what is dunes? As so much of sand is there in the coastal area, then this sand get piles one over the another and they form different structure, and that is called your dunes. You can see the picture of beaches and sand dunes. All these are made by the rivers and the ocean's sandy material. Now let us see the another depositional landform made by the ocean's current and the waves. One is bar and another one is barrier bar. What is the difference between bar and barrier bar? Bar and barrier bar are this way. The deposition, if the deposition is made on the sea, in this way it is called bar. It is called bar when it is inside the water. It is inside the water, then it is called bar. But when it is visible from the top of the water, this bar is visible on the surface of the water, no, then it is called barrier bar. When it is inside the water, then it is bar. When it is coming above the water, then it becomes barrier bar. Then you have the sand speed. So what is sand speed? In the sand speed, what happened? The extension from this barrier bar come out and join the barrier bar with the B. And then it is called sand speed. You can see what is, you can see here the barrier bar. When it was inside the water, it was called bar. Then the extension come out from the barrier bar and join the two parts of the barrier bar with the bay. What is bay? The bay is the curve, this curve, between the land and the sea, the curve near the ocean is called your bay. Alright. So this bay, when from the barrier bar an extension come out and join the barrier bar with the bay, then it is called sand speed. And this sand speed, when they join both the sides of the barrier bar, then it cut off this area from the ocean. This rounded area get cut off from the ocean and turn into a lake, and that lake is called lagoon. So lagoon are basically a lake near the ocean surface and whose water is salty, because the ocean water is salty. So this way the lagoon, the bay, the bar, the barrier bar and the sand speeds are being made. So the bay is actually the curve of the sea. This curve of the sea is called the bay. And this bay actually act like a protective shield. Whenever the tsunami or the storm comes in the ocean, this bay actually absorbs some of its energy and reduces the destruction. Now let us see the erosional agent, fifth erosional agent, and this is the last erosional agent we are going to analyze, and that is your wind. And in the desert area especially, the wind and the sun is playing an important erosional agent work. And as in the desert area, what happened? The hot air get risen up, the cold air fall down, and when the hot air and cold air collide with each other, they create some turbulence, some disturbance, and then they do the many types of activity like deflation, that is the erosion of the land, and then abrasion, that is the transporting of those erosional material to another place, and then the impact of all this is the formation of different types of landform by depositional activity of the wind. In the desert area, mostly the rainfall is less. Alright, mostly the rain does not fall there, but sometimes it falls for a short period but in a heavy quantity. The less vegetation is there in the desert area, so you don't have the biological weathering there. You only have the chemical and mechanical weathering much there. The biological activities come because you have the less land, plant and sea in this area. Alright, and the water and the wind both help in transporting the material, mostly by the wind, because water sometimes dry up in the summer season, and this transfers the material from one place to another and lead to the formation of various features. So what are the various erosional landform made by the wind? One is pediment and the pediplains. So what is pediments and the pediplains? See, pediments are actually the rock which is present near the mountains, and they are actually joined with the bedrocks. It is not just a piece of stone. Those rocks are joined with the bedrocks, and actually it is believed that those were the mountains one upon a time. And because of the slow erosion of wind and water, again and again it turns into pediments. That is small rock connecting with the bedrocks near the mountainous area. And then the pediments get further eroded and then they turn into pediplains. I can show you with the example. This is pediment, the bedrocks near the mountainous area, and they are joined with the bedrock, and this is pediplain. When the pediments get further eroded, they will turn into plain called pediplains. Alright, the another erosional landform made by wind is playas. Playas are actually the shallow area in the desert area, and in this shallow area sometimes water get filled and it is called a lake, and that is called playas. And sometimes the water get evaporated in the summer season, the water get evaporated and only the salt remain in that playas, and then it is called alkali flat. Then deflation, hollow and caves are also common in this area. What is deflation? In the rock, when the continuously wind is hitting in the rocks, then the hole will created. This hole will get wider and turns into cave. Alright, and bigger and deeper hole will become cave. So this is the figure of a playas, in which the shallow area is created in the desert, and then water get filled into it because of the rain or some other sources, and this is having the salty water and it is called playas. And in the this is the cave. In this, what is happening on the rock, the continuously the wind is hitting and creating a hole in that rock, and then the hole get wider and wider and turn into cave. So this way, all this is also formed in the desert area. But apart from this, you also find the mushroom rock or the pedestal rock in that area. What is mushroom rock? It is the rock in the shape of mushroom. How it is formed? It is formed because the rock is there. Suppose this rock is made up of hard material on the top and soft material at the bottom. So when the erosion work goes, then this side will get eroded first, and this side will eroded later on. And so the rock will take a shape of a mushroom or a pedestal rock. It will look like this because the downward was made up of soft rock and they got eroded, and then the top one was made up of hard rock and they get less eroded, and this will take a shape of a mushroom or the pedestal. So this is your pedestal or the mushroom rock. Now let us see the depositional landform made by the wind. So wind definitely, when it is doing so much of erosion work, they collect so much of erosional material, then they deposit it somewhere and or the other, and they make some landform. One of this is your dunes. In dunes, what happens? The wind is flowing, the sand is loose, the sand get piled up one over the above, and they form dunes. And dunes are actually of various types. One is Barchan, which look like a crescent shape, which look like a half moon. Alright. And the opposite of Barchan is parabolic dunes, which whose direction is opposite of Barchans. And Self is also like a Barchans and parabolic dunes, but in this, no, only one tail of the Barchan is there and another tail is missing, and that's why it is called Self. Some other types also you have, like you have the horizontal dunes and the transverse dunes. In the horizontal dunes or the longitudinal dunes, the sand is getting deposited longitudinally, horizontally. But in the vertical dunes or the transverse dunes, they are deposited vertically or the perpendicular to the direction of wind. So this is your longitudinal dunes and this is your transverse dunes. This is your Barchan. It is in the crescent shape, and opposite of Barchans is parabolic. And this is your Self. If this side would have developed, it would have turned into Barchan. But one tail is missing, and that's why it is called your Self. So these are the various type of dunes being formed by your sands with the action of winds. And longitudinal dunes, the transverse dunes, the parabolic dunes, the Barchan dunes and the Self dunes are the different types of dunes which are being formed by the sand deposition, which is because of the wind action. So all these dunes are actually the temporary figure. They can change to in few days because they are loose sand, and again the wind direction will change and the dunes will change. Not only these dunes, but all the landform on this earth, whether it is powerful mountain, plateau, plain or hilly area, all the landform can change in the future. All the landform are temporary because this erosional activity, this geomorphic agent is continuously working on the landform and turning the landform. So all landform are temporary feature. So that's all in this chapter. I hope you like this chapter. If you like this chapter, please do like, share and subscribe my channel MP Social View. Thank you student. Thanks for watching and happy learning.